Cops are meant to uphold the law, but what happens when someone pretends to be one for personal gain? In this shocking case, an individual thought they could get away with impersonating an officer until a real cop caught them in the act. Let's dive into this unbelievable moment. Our story begins with a routine traffic stop. An officer pulls over a vehicle for a broken brake light, a simple equipment violation, but as soon as he approaches the driver, something seems off.
Hello, how you doing? Reason I stopped you is your right brake light is out. Who do you work for?
So did you stop me because my right brake light is out?
Yeah,
Or did you stop me to ask me who I work for?
well, I'm asking you both.
DCS.
What?
DCS.
DCS. What's DCS?
You don't know what
Department of
DCS
Children's Services?
No. Okay. So if you stop me for my right brake light, then we can address that.
Okay.
Okay.
Is your license then?
The driver, identified as Petra Edgerton, is wearing a badge and carrying a firearm. When questioned, she claims to be an officer for the Department of Children's Services, DCS.
Do you have your badge on you? Like your ID badge?
I badge for
Being a police officer.
want my ID. See, this is what you're asking me all those questions.
Right,
Saying you stopped me for my right brake light when I watched you follow me from the gas station.
right.
Right. So which one is it?
So, if you're a police officer, you understand what probable cause is, right?
So what's the problem with that?
Your right brake light's out.
My right brake light wasn't out when you followed me out of the gas station.
Yeah, it is. It's out right now.
The car wasn't even on when you followed me out of
Doesn't
the gas
matter. You're driving with a brake light out on the streets, so it's an
station.
equipment
Okay, you
violation.
followed me out of the gas station.
I saw it when you were pulling out.
At first, it sounds convincing, but the officer isn't so easily fooled. He starts pressing her for more details, and that's when cracks begin to show in her story. She struggles to provide clear answers, stumbling over her words as she realizes the officer is onto her.
Look, long story short, I just want to know who you work for.
Okay. And that's the issue. Why do you want to know who I work for?
Because I've never seen you around here before. You're not a police officer that works here.
You don't know who I am. If
That's
you just
right.
said you never seen me.
Right. So, are you a police officer or are
So
you not a
because
police officer?
So because a black person walks into a store with a badge and a gun is an issue.
That has
but
nothing to
you
do with
never
you being
seen me.
black. Has nothing to do with you being black.
Because you never seen me before?
I don't recognize you.
What they got to do with me and where I work?
Are you a police officer or you're not a police
I'm
officer?
not a police officer.
You're not a police officer?
No.
So why would you go into Quick Trip and get free food with your badge and gun?
Because I'm an officer. You don't have to be a police officer to go in there. I've been doing it for 3 years. Just
You're an
because you've
officer
never
with
seen
who?
me
You're an officer with
doesn't mean
who?
that I don't work here. That's the issue that I'm having.
She can be been stumbling over her works as she figures the officer is now about to figure out her truth.
So you're not a certified police
It's
officer.
not probable cause. It's a personal thing. Because you've never seen me walk in that store. You followed me out the store, got in your car, seen that I had a brake light out, and decided to pull me over for my brake light, which all you're questioning me about is that I went into Quick Trip. Did I steal from
Are
Quick
you
Trip?
yeah, if you're not a police
I
officer.
did not steal from Quick Trip. I went up to the register, spoke to the guy that works there, and told him I had his drink.
So you're presenting yourself as a police officer with your badge and your gun on the side.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
I do understand that. But my issue with you is you've seen that. You say because you never seen me before.
So
And
who do you work
followed
for?
me out of the store.
Who do you work for?
By now, the officer's suspicions are growing. He asks again, who does she really work for? The more she speaks, the more obvious it becomes that something isn't right.
Are you
Who is
really
DCS?
How long have you been working here?
12 years, 13
So
years.
How do you not know what DCS is?
There's, like I said, is it Department of Children's Services? What is it? Explain it to me.
I don't have to explain myself to you. If you're gonna give me a ticket to tell like you give me a ticket to tell.
Okay.
The officer is clearly not having it. As his patience wears thin, he decides to cut through the lies.
Is your license?
Follow me.
Who's your supervisor?
Sorry. I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful, but what does that have to do with my brake light?
What it has to do with is you told me you're a police officer or you're an officer for DCS. I've got DCS on the phone. They say you don't work there. So who's your supervisor? I have one of your employees here, Brandy Green. She was with her friend, Petra Edgerton.
The officer makes a quick call to verify her credentials, and that's when the truth is exposed. Petra doesn't work for DCS. She's impersonating an officer. Now, this just got serious. Pretending to be a law enforcement official isn't just dishonest, it's a crime. But here's where it gets even worse.
They decided that Brandy decided that she was going to give Petra her badge and her gun to go into Quick Trip and get some food. So I pulled them over for a broken tail light. Petra was driving. She had the badge on and the gun on. When I pulled them over, she identified herself as a DCS officer and then later admitted to not being a DCS officer. And your employee, Brandy Green, admitted to giving her the gun and the badge to go into Quick Trip to get the free food.
Sitting beside Petra is Brandy Green, a real DCS employee. Brandy admits that she gave Petra her badge and gun so she could go into Quick Trip and get free food. That's right, they used fake authority to scam a free meal. Talk about abusing power in the worst way possible. What happens next? Well, impersonating an officer is a serious offense that can lead to criminal charges. Petra and Brandy's attempt to scam free food ended up costing them way more than they bargained for. This bizarre incident proves that playing pretend with law enforcement never ends well. If you ever think about bending the rules, just remember, the law always catches up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.